Okay, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Jimmy. I think I recorded a video yesterday. It's my second time recording it. My thoughts were just all over the place, my last video, and I think they're more collected now. And I'm just thinking, I wore this yesterday, because I just did cardio, but I'm about to go do legs right now because my whatever. But I just wanted to talk about, I think it's just more of, just how, like, your worth, right? Because some people can just make you feel like absolute shit, and I'm gonna tell you, I think I just want to reflect on something that's made me feel like shit, and it really affected me, right? And it makes sense, and I don't know if it's the same for this person, but this is kind of more of kind of I kind of want to reflect on these videos in the future, just saying that when I become very successful at what I do, I want to be anybody else, we deal with the same shit, right? Kind of put it that perspective of how you're feeling, what you're dealing with, because we all deal with the same stuff, right? um I specifically remember this was a few years ago, and I always talk about this, and I just and this was the first time I just started getting back at dating, and it's just the last relationship I was in was in high school, right? Because I lost all my weight. I was 25, so I was I feel good enough about myself, and then whatever. Met this person at a wedding, and I specifically, it just was it was very interesting because that was the first time somebody's been interested in me in a while. Well, besides, because I never tried. Honestly, that was the thing. I never put myself out there or talk, instead of going on dating apps. Dating apps are unrealistic, by the way. If you go on dating apps, because I've gone on a few dates, and it's not the same, but it's just it's you go cold turkey out there trying to meet somebody, and I just didn't like it. I still kind of use it off and on, but it's just it's unrealistic, right? Standards are unrealistic. It goes both hands, right? Guys look for some girls that are out of the league, and girls look for whatever, the top nonchalant people, and it's a real thing, right? And I'm not gonna lie, because people have called me attractive in person and all that stuff, but when I go on those apps, I don't, and I hate it, because this is the other thing, but you put pictures of yourself, and when I put those pictures of myself, it doesn't feel like myself. It's just I'm looking at my best pictures that make me look attractive, and I don't like that. It makes me feel shitty about myself, and it doesn't feel right. And then I switched my pictures to more of my personality, and I not really getting any fucking matches. Before that, when I have some cool ass pictures and when I look attractive, yeah, I get a lot of matches. But before that, no, because people are, I guess. It's very interesting, right? And I rather be myself, and I don't want to be something that I'm not, that kind of thing. Whatever, it's fucking philosophical. But going back to the other stuff, but this is the first time I started putting myself out there. Then I just remember the first time I went on a date in a while, right? Because before that, I was so heavily focused on my life, because there's so many things I had to fix. Go to school, lose a lot of weight, and maybe this was the time, right? 25 is 3 years past my weight loss journey, and then all this other shit that I was doing. But yeah, and I specifically remember I got along with this person every time we talk in person, because it was probably one of the only few people I've dated where we were able to talk for forever, and thinking all that stuff, and we just had a lot in common, in the hindsight stuff, we could have been really good friends, honestly, honestly probably best friends, the more that I think about it, because we just had a lot in common, and we got along fairly well in person, right? We talked, and we always laughed, and our humor was the same type of thing, that kind of thing. But this person was still dealing with shit, of course, like anybody. And I guess at the time, I didn't really see it, because I've grown quite a bit from that situation. And at the time, I was just I was a little all over the place, right? I couldn't understand what this person was going through, or what they were doing to me. So it's kind of vice versa, right? Because she was probably just in a very lost mindset, because they were dealing with somebody that they dated before, and kind of dragged over to me, and so I got the full blown force of it, I guess, and which it's not fun, right? But it was very wishy-washy. She was just she couldn't make her mind up, I don't know if I want to date this guy, but I want to date this other guy type of thing. And like if somebody has to choose over somebody else, like it's not a good thing, right? Like you shouldn't be dating somebody like that. And you know, like if I knew that before, like duh. And like I would have like backed off, but I just kept sitting there. Like she kept telling me, she's like, well, I want to casually date and like that kind of thing. And like, you know, it was whatever. So, but yeah, you know, we talked off and on, and it was very weird because like I was get these super long text messages, and then like, you know, she'd leave me on red, and then like just out of nowhere she'd just like apologize, and then like she would like reinforce the thought of like saying that like I was attractive and like she was interested in me type of thing. And it just sounded like manipulative, right? It just sounded like I don't want to lose this person type of thing. And like, you know, like I was stupid, and I just like just took it. Like I just took it, and just like, you know, like I should have just not said anything and move on with my life. And that honestly, like that's something that I wish I did, but you can't do that. It's a learning experience. But you know, I kept going, and you know, we kept dating for a little bit, and then like after a while, like, you know, like we went on some good dates, right? It was always fun, and I enjoyed it. But there's nothing wrong because the person was, you know, a cool person. I'm not gonna lie about that. Like he was a cool person, but you know, it got to a point where like I was so stressed out. Like there were so many things on my mind. Like and like, you know, I really like this person. Like, and that's like no doubt about that. I wouldn't be talking about them if I didn't. But like, but it was just I was dealing with school stuff, and like it was a lot of stress. I wanted to go to medical school, and then I had something earlier that year happen to me, and I was at my peak, right? And I was dealing with somebody who just wasn't emotionally there and just didn't want to be, and like they just couldn't make their mind up. And I didn't realize that. Like I just kept going, and I just kept suppressing my emotions, and like I was just like eventually it just blew up, right? And like I just like was like, you know, just whatever. And then like it was just a very weird thing, right? And then we're like, all right, we're not gonna talk to each other. Then I ended up running into her like at my high school state championship football game, and I was like out of town, and it was just very random, and like she didn't even say hi to me or anything like that. I couldn't tell if it was her because she was wearing a mask during that time, but that really hurt. That I just remember how bad that sucked, and it made me feel shitty because it just made me feel worthless, right? And it made me feel like, damn, this person does not give a fucking shit about me. They're just using me for like, just using me, all right? Because for like attractiveness and all that stuff, and like not for the relationship stuff, the emotional side. And you know, people get used, and like you've probably used people too, because like that's, you know. But I wouldn't say I've done that, and like I don't. Like if I didn't have that happen to me, like I probably would have, but like I know how that feels, and it feels horrible, right? It feels shitty. And like, you know, she like, we, you know, I don't know, it just kind of like, we just off and on. I remember I went out with friends and I got drunk that night, which was really stupid. I shouldn't have done that, because I tend to like, whenever like before I just binge drink, just kind of like suppress the emotion type things and not like deal with the emotion then and there, and like go to the gym and like, you know, that was the thing I wish I did, instead of just drinking that night. But anyways, a few weeks later, we ended up like talking on the phone for like 4 hours, and that doesn't make sense, right? Like somebody who doesn't care, or like, you know, it's just like whatever, wouldn't do that. And I was in such an like emotionally just absolutely drained. Like I was like just down to the dumps, like depressed. And that was the first time I've ever felt like actually depressed. And it felt horrible. Like I just did not want to move. I didn't want to function. I didn't want to do anything. I was just like, it was terrible. And I mean, like, now I get it. Like, because depression is actually a real thing. Like, it is. It's 100% a real thing. And like, people deal with it all the time. Like, there's certain, you know, other aspects that happen because the brain develops in different ways for everyone. Ew. As I've worked in neurosurgery, and I've seen people's, like, you know, tumors removed, and like people have like hemicraniectomies, like it's crazy. So like, why wouldn't depression be a real thing, you know? And like, but yeah, but like I dealt with that, and it just got to a point where it just kind of blew up, because I was just like, you know, like this person is talking to me on the phone for like forever, and they can't make their mind up what's up in their head, you know? Like, and I was still like, I'm not gonna lie, I definitely was not ready to date anybody at that time, because I had school and I wanted to go to med school and all that stuff, and it's just a lot. And like, especially because it was like kind of like it was, you know, like I was living in Flagstaff and this person was like 4 hours away, so it was like, that's kind of like you know, like that was hard, right? And it was only a few months, but like it felt like forever. And you know, the more that I realized, I'm like, that had such a huge impact on my life. Like, it's crazy. And you know, the more that I realized, like, you know, like I said, like, I think after that, like, I just got like, you know, I went out, it was my birthday, and like I just sent a drunk text, messed everything up, said a bunch of dumb things, and then like I didn't, they texted me back and I didn't even read it, and I just deleted it, and I was just like, why did I do that? And whatever. So like, I was just like, you know, whatever. And it just sucked because like, you know, like it felt like you lost like a close friend. And like, I honestly, like, it was just very hard on me emotionally. And I just felt like even still then, like, even now, like I thought we could be really good friends at the time, but like people change. Like I've changed since then. So it's a little bit, you know, nuts. And you know, you when things like this like happen, you know, and it happens to everybody, right? They get into a situationship like that, and it's just like, it's emotionally taxing, right? Because nobody knows what's going on, so they can't make their mind up, and it sucks because like it makes you feel shitty, right? This person didn't want to choose you, and it makes you feel a little bit worthless, correct? And that's where the depression came in. And like, I was so hyper fixated on this person, like my worth was connected to them, and like that's what I was looking for, that external validation from them. And you know, it ended up ruining me, ruined the relationship, ruined everything right there. But like, since then, you know, like, done all this other shit, whatever, I grew out of it. And it was you know, and that was one of the biggest factors in my life where like, because like a lot of the things that I did prior were for like external validation and external reasons, and like, you know, looking for like things from people, looking for like, you know, like approval. And that's what I was looking for this person. Like I wanted them to like reassure constantly and like make me feel good about myself, when I didn't need that. I just needed myself to feel good about myself. That sounds so philosophical, man. I always feel like, you know, I should be in fucking ancient Rome, bro. That's how philosophical I am. But, and like, I you know, and I ran into another situation like that where this person was like, and like, she couldn't make her mind up too. Like, it happened again, but like, I ended it a lot faster than it should. And like, you know, I learned from that situation, right? Because this other person was like, she's going to med school, and like, it was just weird, because she just said something like, hey, she's like, I don't really want to look for a relationship right now, and all that stuff. And like, the same thoughts went in my head, like, oh, this person thinks I'm not attractive, like, they think I'm worthless, like that type of thing, like they don't think I'm good enough. And like, that got me down for a little bit, but then I was able to bring myself out of it a lot quicker than the other time. A lot, like 100 times faster. So, you know, and it just sucks when you deal with situations like that, you know. And then like that person's like, it's a bit understandable because they're moving like Chicago, right? And they're going to med school, they're moving on with their life. I don't think I don't want to date anybody like that, like in the situation I'm in, like, you know, like if I want to move on with my life, like I want to move on with my life, get out of here. So, you know, it's perfectly understandable from her perspective, but like, I also ruined that because I was kind of mad still, and I had every reason to be mad, but I shouldn't be like saying anything to them. I should just, you know, hindsight, like, ignore everything, like not ignore your feelings, but just don't say anything to them when you're emotionally like unstable, because that's the like where I get impulsive with that stuff. Because like, when I'm emotional and like if I'm actually mad, like I actually say something, and it takes a lot for me to get like actually angry, not like just like, oh, they're angry, but that kind of angry. Like, I'll say something like I'll you know, like but it's out of emotion, and it's not, you know, and I've learned not to like, you know, get past that point and not say anything into those points. And that took me some time, man. That took me like a year and a half to like get out of that habit. It was hard, man. It was hard, because it's like, that's more of like, it was like an impulsive like OCD thing where like lets the anxiety out and all that stuff. So it's like, made me feel good. But then after that, come back even worse. But yeah. So pretty much, just don't let people, you know, like, don't rely on people's validation for your worth, because a lot of people do that, and I know that's like a common thing you hear all the time, and it's a true thing, because like, your perspective is how you feel, right? Like, the way you believe things is how you feel. So it's like, if you believe that, like, the external stuff like that, like, for example, is your worth, then you're gonna feel fucking shitty, because it's not guaranteed, right? It's out of your control. So it's like, whatever. But yeah, anyways, that's the end of the video. I'm gonna go destroy my legs, get this emotions out into my legs so I can get bigger legs, and continue to like lose weight right now at a smart way this time. All right, bye.